Avoid judgment. So when your child does something that makes you angry or something that triggers you, try not to judge the situation as bad or judging the child. Hello and welcome to my channel. I hope you're doing good. As for me, I'm doing fantastic. And in case you're new here, my name is Charity Bugeni and I make videos on faith, family and self-improvement. So if you haven't subscribed up to this point, please do, because I would really love to have you be part of it. Today I'm going to share with you some tips that can help you to be a little bit more patient with your children. Most especially as parents of toddlers or middle schoolers, sometimes it can be so difficult to keep your cool and just to keep your head down as a parent. And so you may find yourself angry all the time or yelling at your children. And so today I just want to be able to talk about this subject. Some of those things that you can do to help yourself as a parent to become a little bit more patient or more calmer. The first tip that I'm going to share with you is self-awareness. As a mom or as a dad, you have to be aware of the person that you are. What exactly makes you angry? When it comes to your emotions, at what times do you feel triggered so easily? Because you have to always remember that being angry is normal, and especially with kids, all the time, they can do things that go against your expectations or they just don't follow your instructions. And so you might find yourself getting angry all the time. And so you have to know yourself. So self-awareness is number one aspect to help you learn to control yourself, in that you become a little bit more patient with your child. So emotionally, you need to know what triggers you, what makes you angry, or in what situations. Because sometimes it's not necessarily because of the mistakes or the things that children have done, but usually it comes from your state of mind as a parent. So is it because of the pressures that you are carrying, the responsibilities? Is it because of a tight schedule? When it comes to moms, that I can talk for moms because I am a mom also. Most of the time, you might realize that it's not necessarily because of what the children have done, but it's because of your state of mind and your state of emotions. So you should understand yourself. Is it because you are under pressure, or is it because at that particular of the month your hormones are just not in good balance? You should be able to understand yourself. Or if you are a dad, is it because you have a lot to do at your workplace? Is it because of so many demands? You have to know that and separate them, because you might find yourself sometimes you can take it out on the children. Remember that as much as your children can be so annoying, they are still your children, and it is your responsibility to love them either way. So even though you have to correct them or to guide them, you have to do it in a way that is not causing them psychological or physical harm. Is avoid judgment. So when your child does something that makes you angry or something that triggers you, try not to judge the situation as bad or judging the child as a bad child, because sometimes the mistakes that we do is that we make a judgment and we say, this child is hard-headed. Like in Kiswahili wanasema kichwa ngumu. Huyu mtoto amekuwa kichwa ngumu. It's not that this child has already become hard-headed. You are passing that judgment. So any judgment that is negative that you make about your child will definitely trigger you in a negative way. And you might find yourself just getting out of control in terms of how you respond. Or you might find yourself even just beating the child unnecessarily. So avoid judging the situation or something that the child did. For example, if your child breaks a glass or a cup, those are some of the things that should never really make you punish the child for breaking the cup. Because this, as much as this is a child, but is also human. If even you are an adult, but sometimes you can break a glass or a cup or a plate, that is not a reason for you to beat the child or to punish the child. But just let the child know to try and be attentive, because most, especially when such kind of a mistake happen, it's because maybe their mind was not on what they are doing. So just to try and bring their attention there, you just reprimand them, but always reprimand them in a way that makes them learn that it's okay to make mistakes, but it is also the right thing to learn and to try our best not to do it again. Instead of just getting angry and punching the child or shouting at the child at that particular time. Or when the child pours water. Those are simple mistakes that children do, and as parents, we find ourselves getting angry. If a child is an age that he or she can wipe that water by herself, let the child go and mop or wipe away the mess. But if not, just do it yourself gently, but let them know that they should learn to try and avoid such kind of mistakes, because they are part of growing and we were all there. So there is no need of overreacting when it comes to such kind of mistakes. And then number 3, you also need to learn to always lower your voice. When reprimanding a child, or your child, that is, lower your voice. It is okay to get angry, and you can speak in a voice that shows that you're not happy about what the child did, but you really do not need to shout. So always remind yourself that immediately you get angry, lower your voice. That is the first thing you should do with the children. You can reprimand them, showing them that you're not happy with what they did without yelling. It is possible, and they can listen, because they are children, but they are humans. They have every makeup that you have as a person, and they are still learning. That is the age when they are still trying to identify with their environment, to understand so many things that are going around them. So you really need to try and be a little bit more patient with them. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.